But then I had another experience. I will not show you in computer because it's very embarrassing for me. I did condylography for my patient, was a full mouth rehabilitation. And I found the settings of the articulator, and we had gamma articulator already in the lab, so we had everything. And I gave these settings to technician and told him, these are the settings for the prosthetic room. And he followed them religiously. And he was student of Slavicek, but instead of 10 models for technicians, he underwent 2 and says, it's okay, it's enough for me. I think I know everything. It happens. So, and I was just trying in this prosthesis, the static is okay. And patient says, well, it's okay, but I feel funny when I'm starting chewing. And it's the truth. It was 10 appointments of adjustment of occlusion, and he still didn't feel right. Where I noticed that his occlusion was too tight. So the settings of the articulator was so correct, maybe, that there were no place for freedom of his occlusion. Then I was in Koi's lecture about how to adjust occlusion and about envelope of function. And I just came back from Koi's course, knowing how to adjust occlusion according to Koi. So all these settings, I just made a clearance, so give him a freedom. So I really changed a lot of ceramic in his work, in dynamics. And he said, well, I'm sorry to say, but I have to, fuck, it's so good! Why it was not so good before? And I realized that even if I do condylography for the dental technician, still, I don't know how to interpret this data they gave me as a settings for the articulator. So, and I was using condylography less and less, because it was expensive. If the work is expensive, with total rehabilitation and implants, I will do that. It's part of the price that the patient is paying. But if it's a TMD patient, I managed to treat patients with TMD without condylography. Because I had a patient once, she said, I've done condylography, I paid money, but it doesn't get any better. I told her, condylography is not for treatment, it's for diagnostics. But the data I had is just, I knew that she doesn't have any problems with the joints, but it didn't help her. So, and I was like, okay, I will do my practice without any axiography because it takes too much energy from me, not profitable at all. Because in the end we have to make money. And then I found out about Mojo. It was 3 years ago, and I was like, wow, Mojo, it's so cool, I want to have Mojo. But it happens that in one of the lectures, I got acquainted with those guys who did SDI matrix. And being unconsidered gnathologist, which I hate this word actually, there is no gnathologists in the world, but someone called me that in the website of the clinic, and since then I had a lot of patients with TMD. We can discuss later what I do with them, because it's rarely dentistry actually. Very rarely it's dentistry. So, and I started to find out what is SDI matrix. And the first thing I was hooked up is the program, the software. The device I've seen later. So right now, and I purchased the SDI matrix device and became a fan. Because I came from condylography. And it's like, I was riding a horse carriage and somebody gave me a car. It's this kind of experience. I don't have experience with Mojo, but I found out that Mojo and Zebris is just axiography. So all you can have is trajectories. Trajectories that you can give to the technician as articulator settings, or there's trajectories for the exocad. With this software I do much more because I do a lot of diagnostics. And that's what I like. So what we're going to do today, right now we'll torture this little guy. We'll do axiography. I'll still think he will be my assistant today, because without assistant it's hard to do. So I'll explain to you what is device, what should we do, what is the protocol of axiography. In the end, I'll do something that I never done before with this scanner. We're going to do the scanning with the fork. You'll understand what is it. And the thing is that I'm using an iTero scanner, which has an absolutely different protocol of scanning. And we'll see whether I master that or I will need help, because with iTero, you touch teeth when you do scanning. And with FreeShape, for example, you don't touch teeth when you do scanning. And sometimes when you switch between both, it's like automatic gear and mechanical gear. You have to get used to it, because sometimes it's like frustrating. And scanning is still the weak point of this system that will solve in a couple of months, and I'll tell you how. After that, will download the data to the software, and before the lunch break, we'll do the simple test with software. So we'll use the software only as module software, for example, only for trajectories and occlusion analysis. Then, during the lunch break, for you it will be quite a long lunch break, 2 hours, I'll put on the screen the YouTube videos, educational videos of SDM matrix. So Panayotis will just switch it on one by one, you can have a look. And then, after the lunch, I'll ask you what have you learned there, what interested you, what hooked you up. And then we'll try to do the thorough analysis, so the complete analysis. Because in my experience, when I show the complete analysis in the beginning, those who didn't do cephalometric analysis and so on, they get lost. They think it's too complicated. Actually, it's not. So we'll start with the easier thing, then we'll go to the more complicated thing. Tomorrow, I'll show you some of the cases with SDM matrix. And if you would like to, you can practice yourself and doing a full case. Oh, my assistant came, super. We'll do a full case. And maybe if I can ask you to start tomorrow very early, like 8 o'clock. By 4 o'clock you'll be free, if it's okay for you. But we'll decide it in the end today. So, right now, we can already start. Our patient is deprogramming. And he's still deprogramming. This is not deprogramming actually. Between anterior teeth, this is complete nonsense. But I have a heart patient, okay. We'll do anyway. So this is everything you need for doing the axiography. Actually, for me, it's very convenient because you can just put it as... Have you seen Mojo? Mojo you can travel with. Mojo is big, yes? Because they actually sell the computer as part of their system. Here you have any computer you want. It has to be a gaming computer with very nice video card inside, but nothing else, nothing more. So what we have here, and I'll show it, is this is, oh, I'll unpack it. Wow, what an honor. I will not put it back later. Don't expect it from me, I'm messy. So this is central marker. This is a heart and soul of the system, because this little thing is helping you to have like a digital phase bow. You can register natural head position with central marker, and actually, if you don't want to work digital, if some of you decided not to work digital, you can use this central marker and the software to make the mounting of the analog models, of the physical plaster models in the articulator. So in that case, your doctor or you will not need any more phase bow and trying to adjust the horizon every time. Sometimes it's not very exact. Here is very exact. So I'm not using any more phase bow with a level that I'm gluing on both. So this is very convenient. Then, besides central marker, there is fork, or as the guys in SDM matrix call it, they call it stand. I call it fork. And actually, I've tested, you can scan it in a desktop scanner if you want. We'll see if we can scan it with this thing. Pain? Buddy? Buddy? Oh, we have TMD patient. Good. That's the first test. It's a load test.